Thank you, Deputy. I now call on Deputy Nolan. We have just over 7 minutes left in this slot, so if you wish to share it with yourself and Deputy Maloney.
Thank you. If you can tell me after I've spoken for 3 minutes,
yeah, okay.
So I can have the time with Deputy Maloney, that'd be
okay.
I appreciate that. I'm delighted to speak on this bill. I think it's a very important bill. And the first thing to say is that the credit union movement is in need of regulation. And while it is an extremely positive movement with with so much positivity to speak about it, we have to remember that there are people's savings are kept there, that there is money at risk, and that we have to make sure that it is a financial institution that's on sound footing. So I do think there is a need for regulation. But I suppose the first principle I should say is that we should do no harm with the regulation that we're doing to the positive attributes of it. And those are very clear in my view. The first is that it is a voluntary organisation. I meet members of credit unions in Galway all of the time, and the immense amount of work that they do for absolutely nothing in return, no pay, no remuneration of any kind, is to be commended, and we need to maintain that ethos. We also need to maintain the ethos of the credit union, and the credit union is not a bank. The credit union is there generally to help people who cannot, or historically to help people who cannot get credit from a bank. So when we're talking about credit and risk ratings and credit portfolios and so on, we have to realise that the credit union was always there and served its primary purpose when people couldn't go to the banks and were sent away. And we have to maintain that flexibility within the credit union movement to facilitate those people who don't have access to credit on the normal basis. I'd like to just raise one point in the brief time I have. There's a credit union in Galway City, St. Columba's Credit Union, and it operates as a rather large, very well-run credit union, but it also has a subsidiary arm called St. Columba Credit Union Limited, or SCUL for short. And that company uses its resources and uses the money of the credit union in a very innovative way. It's been involved in very different projects. It's invested in community neighbourhood projects in a Ballyban area of the city, where a library was put in place and a habitat centre was put in place that actually won an award. It invested in an enterprise centre in Ballyban, which it provides incubation units for businesses and so on. And there were great plans that unfortunately couldn't go ahead outside of their control to put together a community centre and a HSE facility in the Ballinfoyle area of Galway City. And this is an example of social finance, using their resources to help and better the community. And I think that the legislation really should put that function, that target and that idea of the credit unions linking in with government as an alternative source of investment, which is so badly needed in this economy. Because the example of the credit unions in Galway, St. Columba's, is a model example of how the credit union movement can be involved in community organisations, fund projects, and serve their members at the same time. Thank you, Cancora.
Cancora, just